Hey everybody, happy Cinco de Mayo. Welcome back to my kitchen. On this Taco Tuesday, I thought it would be fun to share a couple of really easy recipes. One is a strawberry margarita, and the other is just a really simple guacamole. I know that a lot of us are home this Cinco de Mayo and not able to enjoy the festivities at our local Mexican restaurants, but these are recipes that you can entertain with all spring and summer long. You can scale them up and make a big pitcher of margarita if you're able to have some friends and family over, and just have fun with them. And you can also change up the flavors. I'm using frozen strawberries because that's what I had in the freezer, but you can use frozen pineapple as well, which would be really nice, or even mango. So I'm gonna run you through the ingredients first for the margarita. So I have about a cup, 8 ounces or so of frozen whole strawberries. I have tequila blanco, which is my tequila of choice. I prefer this over the tequila that's a darker amber color, which has been aged longer. And because I'm celiac, I always buy tequila that is 100% agave, which is safe for people with celiac. You also need orange liqueur. This is Cointreau, which is French, and it's my favorite, but you could also use triple sec if that's what you have on hand. As a little touch of sweetener, I'm using some 100% agave syrup, which you can find now in the cocktail section of most grocery stores. And I have some freshly squeezed lime juice, about 3 to 4 limes worth of juice. So it's really simple. I'm just gonna put it all in the blender. But before I do that, I wanted to show you, I have a lime here that I've already cut, and it's kind of fun and festive. You don't have to do this, but if you want to kind of show off in front of your friends a little bit, you take the lime and just kind of squeeze it along the rim of your glass. And I actually wanted to point out, I absolutely love these glasses. I hoard so much stuff when it comes to entertaining. You can never have too much. Well, maybe you can. But what I love about these is the color. They're like a dark amethyst color, like a purple. If you could see them, they're really heavy, hand blown in Mexico. And I actually got these from my godmother and godfather, a whole set of them with the pitcher for my 25th birthday. I threw myself my first birthday party as an adult in my first apartment, albeit my parents paid for the catering from the local Mexican place. But I did make some appetizers and drinks. And so in keeping with the theme, this was one of my favorite gifts. So these, not to date myself, are probably about 20 years old at this point. So after you've moistened the rim of your glass with the lime juice, I have, can you see, and my daughter Ava is filming for me, thank you Ava. I have some really pretty sanding sugar. You can use regular sugar. You could use salt. I personally don't like the taste of salt. I always order my margaritas with no salt. I do prefer them on the rocks. In this case, I am making it in the blender, but rocks, no salt is the way I usually go. And look at how pretty that is. Just really fun and festive, and just adds a little something when you're entertaining. So I'm just gonna stick this over here. Okay, so there's my glass. So now in my Ninja, which I apologize, but it's super loud. I am going to throw in my strawberries. Now I grow mint and lots of other things, but I like mint. It keeps the deer and sort of the animals away, supposedly. And it comes back every year, and it really fills up a bed nicely, and it smells good. And I like to use it in drinks. I use it sometimes in salads. I have like 3 different varieties growing. You don't need a lot. You could even use basil. Strawberry and basil is nice too. Just put a couple of mint leaves in there. These are small, so I'll go with an extra. Okay, I'm gonna throw the lime juice in. And this is a jigger, So the larger side is about 1.5 ounces or so. That's where I want my tequila. Okay. And that's gonna go in. And then on the other side, the smaller side, is about 3/4 of an ounce. So, oh, this is a little bit, there we go. So it's like a 2-to-1 ratio. I'm just gonna do it this way so that the tequila doesn't get all over. Okay. That's gonna go in there. And it went over, that's okay. Okay. And then the agave syrup, it's about a tablespoon or so. You can do it to taste. I'm just gonna kind of wing it and see how this goes. Okay, I'm gonna blend this all up, starting on low speed. That should be good. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you like to have chunks of fruit, by all means. If you're using fresh fruit, which you could do as well, you could use fresh strawberries, fresh pineapple. Obviously, you're gonna wanna add some ice in there. And just be really careful with the blade. This Ninja, I love it, but it is very sharp. Okay. And there is my first recipe, strawberry mint margarita. Cheers. That's good. And I like the little bit of crunch from the sugar. Okay. Ava, I would offer you one, but you're too young. Okay, so now the next recipe is guacamole. So usually guacamole has jalapeno, cilantro. My kids won't eat any of that stuff. So we're going really plain. I'm not even adding tomato, which you can do that too. My sister-in-law makes a killer guacamole. She adds tomato, which I love, but I didn't have any. And I wasn't going back to the store, especially not now. So this is what you want. This is the color that you want. The skin you could see is dark. You want it to be soft, but not, mushy where your fingers are gonna go through it. And when it's ripe enough, the pit just kind of comes right out. So into a bowl, I am just gonna scoop this out, super easy. I hate when that little stem gets in there. So now I need to fish that out because that's gonna bother me. There it is. Okay, yuck. All right, now let's get this in there. Now, the thing about making guacamole is you need to kind of prepare for this a little bit because you want the avocados to be ripe enough or it's just not gonna work out the best way. So you might need to leave them out on the counter for a couple of days before you make this. If they are ripe and you're not ready to make it, just stick the avocados in the refrigerator, and the refrigeration just kind of keeps them from getting any riper. Otherwise, when you open the avocado, it's going to be really dark and brown, and you don't want that. Okay, so we need more lime juice. You need the acid, not only for the taste, but it also prevents the guacamole the avocado from browning on you, which especially when you're serving it, you don't want that. But when my sister-in-law makes this, she makes it a lot over the summer when we're all hanging out by the pool. She keeps the pit in the middle of the guac, and it just sort of supposed to prevent the avocado from browning, and it lasts longer. So you can kind of add the lime juice to taste. But limes are small and you don't really get a lot of juice out of them, so I usually just do about one and a half. You want some salt, okay? And I am going to use some white peppercorn, just a little bit, just so that you don't get really dark flecks of pepper in there. And a little bit of hot sauce. I don't have jalapeno, like I said, and my kids would never eat it with chunks of jalapeno pepper in it. So I actually had this on hand. It's Siete brand, which I love them for their grain-free tortilla. Their enchilada sauce is really good. It's dairy-free if you're into that. And this is their hot sauce. So I'm just gonna put just a tiny bit, you know, a few or so drops. And then you can either use a fork or a potato masher, actually, and just kind of get in there. If you like your guacamole chunky, you can certainly just stop now so that you have more chunks of the avocado in there. Oh, I almost forgot. I knew I was forgetting something. I had pre-chopped some red onion. I don't like to use a lot. Maybe that's about a good tablespoon worth. You can use more. Again, guacamole is kind of, you know, what you make of it. If you like it really spicy, then add more pepper. If you like it chunky, if you like a lot of onion, you know, you can kind of make it what you want. But that's pretty much it. Just give it a night. Now you see how easily that mixes and incorporates because the avocados were perfectly ripe. So what I'm going to do now, just use this thing here, is a beautiful bowl. This is actually from Portugal. Okay, oops. Okay, pile it in your serving bowl. And I'm a sucker for all of these wood boards and bowls and things. So I like to just use one of these. It's kind of rustic and fun. Put your tortilla chips and your guacamole right next to it and enjoy. So with that, happy Cinco de Mayo.